Actually, no, this does sound really refreshing. What is up, YouTube? It's me, HPJ, and welcome to another HPJ Podcast. Let's clap it up, everybody. Yay. I am your host, Harpie Player Joe, and it is, funny enough, it is Monday, June 29th of 2026. It is approximately 9 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time as I am recording this. So I do apologize if this comes out late, but then most people don't watch my content anyway. So it's fine. Anyway, I am only one more episode away from episode 50 of the HPJ podcast, and I cannot wait for episode 50. It's crazy. I have done 50 episodes of my podcast, and I have to say it's very bittersweet, but I think I'll save that for when it's time to do the 50th session. And then more so going into what is to come for later situations or later sessions itself. So it's a thing. What are we talking about on today's session? Well, first off, I have some lovely music in the background. This is Winter Tundra, the home world from Spyro 3, with rain and thunder aesthetics in its background, which is not bad. I love Spyro music. Shout out to Mr. Stuart Copeland, because that man made sure we were eating well when we played Spyro. He gave us sombering music. He gave us happy, upbeat music. He gave us music to just relax to, and he gave us music to put us in a mind perspective and meditate. And it's rare that you get a lot of soundtracks that do that. But yeah, we got some things to talk about today. The first thing I want to talk about, of course, Sonic's 35th anniversary. Because yes, I did celebrate Sonic's 35th anniversary. Where do I begin? Because besides well, first off, let's just congratulate everyone who was part of that stream for raising, I think it was $55,000 in total for charity, because it was a charity stream. Because despite all the drama behind it, I didn't realize it was a charity stream. Okay, well, yay, congrats, charity stream. Y'all did that, and I'm very excited to say that I personally did not watch the stream for many reasons behind the scenes that were not addressed, which I don't mind addressing them, because I thought it was very just wow factor how things are being handled behind the scenes. If you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, basically one streamer was removed because that streamer is a VTuber, and that VTuber said some very derogatory terms about people of different races, very misogynistic things, and some very homophobic things, and very transphobic things as well. So a lot of that had conspired to why they removed said VTuber. Fidel said some things, which I was like, oh, well, that doesn't shock me. Fidel kind of just pushes me on some of those things he says, and some people are like, no, Fidel would never say that. I'm like, well, there's a nice clip right on Twitter of him saying some things that I'm not going to repeat on my channel, but you can get the gist of it. And I was like, oh, well, there's another Sonic streamer I'm not watching, because the only Sonic streamer that I didn't know that was there, unlikely besides, unfortunately, Fidel, was Izzy. And I completely forgot Izzy had mentioned this, because I hadn't watched too many Izzy streams, and I know she streams. I think in about 30 minutes from now, Izzy should be streaming. So, yeah, it was a shock that Izzy... It was a shock to know that Izzy was going to be there. I was happy Izzy was there. But I think I'll say this. I think timing was an issue, and I think because a lot of other things were going on, most content creators were not available. Because a large portion of people I know were heading to too many games in Philadelphia this week. Well, last week. So I think it would be very strenuous to jump from, hey, let's go to LA, and then I gotta get back on another flight because in a couple days I gotta head to Philly. So I can personally understand that. But yeah, it was just definitely not one of my I'm gonna run here type of situations, and I was just like, I want no part of that. So that's ultimately, it's just like my whole standing between the drama online and behind the scenes. I was just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Then the 35th anniversary album. Let me talk about that because I have now fully listened to the 35th anniversary album. I guess I'm going to be that Sonic fan and say Sonic the Hedgehog's 35th anniversary is kind of one of the worst ones I've ever experienced since '06. And that should tell you a lot there when the 15th and the 35th anniversary are kind of the letdowns. And here's the thing. It wouldn't be such a letdown if the music for this soundtrack wasn't stuff we've already heard. So, let me just put this in perspective. So, Sonic Team a few weeks ago announced they're going to do Forever Fast, the 35th anniversary soundtrack for Sonic the Hedgehog. It came out literally 5 days ago. 4 days ago, because most of the stuff that had to be uploaded took literally an entire day to upload. Because there is no digital copy. It is a physical copy. It's a nice little picture of Sonic with the 7 Chaos Emeralds, the 35th anniversary logo, and the word Forever Fast on top of it. So, okay, not too bad. But when you look through the album list, it's 18 songs on disc 1, 4 songs on disc 2. That's it, 22 songs. Some of them are mixes of songs that have already been released. There's maybe 3 songs with Nathan Sharp on there, or as most people know him by, is Nate Wants to Battle. Then there's a whole bunch of just Crush 40, Tomi Otani, stuff from Sonic Frontier, stuff from Team Sonic. Well, there's only one Team Sonic Racing song, but it's like songs from different eras of Sonic's history, but it's all vocal themes. And then it's the Hatsune Miku and Yasuno's mix. There's the Japanese version of Speed Is My Life mixed on there, the instrumental version. Then there's Fist Bump. There's Fist Bump. But the new mix of Fist Bump, from what I listened to, it doesn't sound too different from the original mix of Fist Bump. But I guess they're like, well, we changed a couple of the tunes. Alright. Live and Learn, Open Your Heart, What I'm Made Of, I Am All of Me, All Hail Shadow, His World, Speak With Your Heart, Endless Possibilities. So, I mean, it was a variety of things on there. But here's my thing. A lot of it just doesn't sound... I'm sorry, it's just... No, I'm not sorry, because I have to be 100% honest with you guys. I think this is kind of one of the worst experiences with a Sonic anniversary I've ever experienced. And mind you, I lived through Forces, I lived through '06. So for me to say that, it was just like, yeah, I really just, I feel so disconnected. Because so much energy was put into Sonic's 30th anniversary. So they're like, okay, well, we're halfway to 40. We'll come back in like 40 years, and then we'll just like, alright, there you go. Because that's what it feels like. That's legitimately what it feels like. And I'm just like, oh, I hate to see what Sonic's 40th anniversary looks like, and I'm dreading it. Oh, I'm dreading it. So, it's a lot. It is a lot. It is definitely a lot. I don't know where things can go from here in terms of Sonic stuff, but I hope if they ever do another album, add some more music to it for some more variety, because I'm sorry, I'm sick of hearing the same multiple things over and over again. If you're gonna add some new mixes or add some older songs that people want to hear. Like, we want to hear Pumpkin Hill. You don't have to put actual vocals to it. Add Pumpkin Hill, but let it be Pumpkin Hill with instrumental. Where's the Lovely Gates 3? Where's, some stuff from Secret Rings? Where's some stuff from, can we add some more stuff from Sonic 06? That wasn't what Sonic 06 ended up being. And it's where's the advanced stuff? That stuff we want to hear too. And oh my god, you had an entire album called Sonic R. I don't understand why Sonic R music can't be dropped. What, did Richard Jacques really become such of a prick that he said no to a lot of the music? Because I'm very confused. Like, where's Here You Can You Feel the Sunshine? Where's Living in the City? Work It Out, Back in Time. What is it? No, that is Back in Time. Diamonds in the Sky, You're My Number One, Where's Supersonic Racing? Stuff we want to hear, but I say I digress, but I'm just, putting a band-aid over the leaky faucet. That's going to continue to leak because that band-aid is not waterproof. It is with duct tape, with sticky, no, not even duct tape, it's sticky tape held up with hopes and dreams. And that's literally what this anniversary is. It's like, oh, but you guys got the Pico Park stuff. Like, I don't play Pico Park. You don't speak for me. You don't speak for me at all. Because Pico Park, what the fuck do I look like playing Pico Park? First of all, I have to have friends to play Pico Park. I have no friends to play Pico Park. Number two is that I would also have to sit here and play more Team Sonic Racing. Sonic Racing Crossroads, which I already do. And to me, and personally, I'll say this again, I don't hate the game, but the game is just like, wow. And it's crazy though, because after I played a bit of Team Sonic Racing, I went to go play Mario Kart World, and no, I rather went back to Team Sonic Racing. And even then, I don't know, because both of these racing games they're just there for beauty. There was also announcements of course, Classic Sonic, Alex from Crazy Taxi, and Amigo from Samba de Amigo joining in for Team Sonic Racing. I don't know if they're going to have Worlds. We know Classic Sonic doesn't, because it's Classic Sonic. What the hell he needs a level for it. But, like the others, there's the controversies going on right now with Alex from Crazy Taxi, because Sega announced that they're going to be using AI for Crazy Taxi, which, red flag, it's on the play. And then Samba de Amigo, I would love to see a Sonic Carnival level reimagined from Sonic Riders, because that would have been nice to have included, to like have it station about all the other Sonic franchises in the fucking game, in the fucking world. Like, Sega, do you not understand that you have more than just Sonic as your franchise? He can be your poster child, yes, the equivalent of Mario to Sonic, but there's other franchises. We couldn't put them in. Okay, so yeah, I definitely would like to see more worlds added. I guess we'll just wait to see what season 2 looks like, because there's hopes and dreams, but it's also just like, and I'm just like, and yeah, no, I'm good. Other things. Let's move on from Sonic, because I probably hurt enough Sonic fans' feelings. Yu-Gi-Oh players, I'm here to hurt your feelings next. Chaos Origin is officially out, I think, this weekend. If not, it was out. I know the special events were last week, so I don't know when Chaos Origins is officially coming out. I know people have pulled from it. I know people have opened boxes. Those are those who are doing, like, stuff for Konami. I'm really not interested in set itself for monthly stuff. Everything else pretty much just looks like, if you're not building this deck, don't play. So, alright. I don't care about Pot of Sloth, because it just not seem like a... God, it's crazy though, because we got a brand new pot card, and it's just like, oh, okay. Moving on. And then, the stuff for Dark Magician in them, that's cute. Milk the Teeth. I want to know what this Immortal Phoenix set is supposed to look like, because apparently, OCG, there was an announcement for the next core set to be called Immortal Phoenix. And I definitely want to know who's going to be on that Immortal Phoenix. Are we going to see support for the Winged Dragon of Ra? Are we going to see stuff for My Valentine? Like, I really would like to know, because when you hear Immortal Phoenix, you think Ra, the Egyptian god. And it's like, well, Ra's never been really much of a deck, neither has any other two Egyptian gods, and the only one that has ever been seen play between the three of the Egyptian gods is Obelisk, for a short period of time in raw spear mode because it likes to just lap at your opponent. Slifer is just there to look pretty, and it kind of just was like, yeah. So, I don't know. The other thing, like I said, is Harpie, because we've seen the last two sets now, both Brave of the Bond and Chaos Origin feature an iconic boss monster to that respective duelist, and in that respective duelist. So if I'm listening to an Immortal Phoenix, the only two I would say is, well, would they give Mai a variation of Harpie Lady Sisters that would have the Phoenix formation? Or are we looking at, the Winged Dragon of Ra? So it's very much not to tell. I don't know any other additional stuff that's going on from the OCG in terms of it, because I really do want to focus on this Rush Duel stuff, because I'm 2 weeks behind on Rush Duel stuff, and that is particularly my fault, because I didn't know Rush Duel was getting stuff in this limited pack, and I need to do a video on it as soon as possible. So do stay tuned for that. But the other thing I need to do is a deck profile for Mimighoul, because Mimighoul did get Mimighoul Flower, and I never updated my Mimighoul deck profile because of it. I don't have any, Treasure Panther, so don't ask me why that's not in the deck, and there are a couple of other archetypes I can still slash into Mimighoul if I choose to, or I can just run a pure variant and just not give a fuck, which at this point it kind of feels like I should just not give a fuck. I am more interested in things coming into Rush Duel more than TCG OCG right now, especially because the OCG just had their limited list, and it goes into effect, I believe, Wednesday, and that already had me have feeling some type of way, so I don't know where I stand there. Worlds, I believe, is in August, or I think it's in September this time, so I think a lot of people are really just waiting to see how that's going to pan out, which is typical. And then they've already announced some of the WCQs going into the next format, so that doesn't surprise me either. What does surprise me is how much they're really going in for that next year, because I believe we're approaching Yu-Gi-Oh's 30th anniversary, and we're all kind of just fingers crossed and hoping that it's not a whole amalgamation of what the fuck like it was with the 25th, because hasn't the 25th anniversary been over? Can we move on? Because it's not like y'all make the reprints of cards any better than they already are, so I'm just like, everybody's like, and I'm just like, okay, because I'm looking left, you're looking right, we're looking at each other, and we're just like, side-eye emojis. Anyway, Puzzles and Dragons is up next, which pad I am very excited for, but also upset for, because I did not get the last roll I needed from the lunch event for Pad Academy, which sucks. However, I did try my best to get those rolls, but no. Neither account got the rolls. No. My second account did, but my first account did not get its last roll off of the second sheet. And that sucks, because it was literally the last thing I needed, which was the 7-star roll for Pad Academy. And I was like, but I think I have basically everything from Pad Academy that was available. Because the only thing I think I ever exchanged for, necessarily, because I already have Manoa. I had, Chiram and Zella. So really all I was doing at that point was just focusing on what cards can I add from this collab to add to a team from Mystics and Spectres. Which, come to find out, not really much, because Rem and Ram are still basically what I needed from it. And the only other card that I don't have from that set is a card that only is in the REM. Which, funny enough, I have it on my second account, which is the other monster that makes the board changes. But I don't have all the pieces from account A for account B. So, yeah. That really sucks. But that's typical when it comes to Postal Dragons. The big news from Postal Dragons is that Madoka Magica is coming to is going on right now in JP. But a lot of people have complaint about the JP situation. Which I don't mind talking about it because I have a feeling when Madoka Magica comes over here, we're going to have the same issues too. So, if anyone doesn't know, Parallel World Madoka Magica, or no, Magi Magician, no, what the fuck is Madoka? Oh, I think it's Parallela Madoka Magica. That's the proper name for it in Japan, but most of us just call it Madoka Magica. It's an anime about magical girls who are chosen to become magical girls and keep the circle of life together. It's a very different magical girl anime, if you will. It's basically like if Sailor Moon got darker. And remember, Sailor Moon did get dark, but it didn't get dark like Madoka Magica gets dark. Because the main character herself, Madoka, doesn't necessarily want to become a magical girl at first. Then when she becomes the magical girl, she then becomes the Great Circle of Life. But then her friend Homura gets a little too possessive, and then she wants Madoka to herself. So she becomes a witch, and then she loses her mind, and then she wants Madoka to herself. And she doesn't want anyone else to have Madoka to themselves but her. So you kind of get where it gets a little crazy. And it's just a lot of revelations and stuff. I believe at a tail end of one of the movies, or I think the next movie is going to be based off of the results of what Homura did in the last movie, where I guess she won because she got Madoka to herself. But Saika and them also have their memories of Homura, and they're like, bitch, if you don't let us out, we gonna fuck you up. And she like, bitch, just square up. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And it was like also like some side series of some other magical girls associated with Madoka Magica as well. It's like a bigger universe to it. But I'm just like also like I didn't know my magical girls could get this dark, and then they did. And then, you know, magical girls are not always cutesy and fancy. Sometimes these magical girls love throwing hands. And hey, that's what you have to do. Also to note is that I am getting a lot of discourse from a lot of anime fans who they scream, you know, they talk all of this stuff about, you know, anime, but they never talk about Sailor Moon, because Sailor Moon was the pinnacle of magical girl anime. Like, she put magical girl anime on the spot. And it's crazy because everybody talks about all the big three. And I'm like, so what do we talk about Sailor Moon? And then people are like, well, we don't talk about Sailor Moon because she's not the big three that we talk about right now. I'm like, well, let's see. She's the only female running magical girl anime that people know worldwide, besides Madoka. Most of the magical girl animes that do run around the world, most of you guys shun away, because if it's not big titty lady, then you don't give a shit about them. And then Goku, because that's all we ever hear is Goku. And I'm like, listen, Sailor Moon can snap out Goku in one shot. Don't even try her. Because if you thought Homer was badass, give Sailor Moon let Sailor Moon go off once. And that's it. And they're not ready for that conversation. Because, yes, Sailor Moon can be Goku. We can run the numbers and the stats. And your boy still can't even touch her in her base form. So, he can do all that scream, shouting, and transforming he wants to. But she gets one transformation. And by the time she's done, she hasn't even hit Eternal Sailor Moon. So, let's not. Because let's run the rap sheet. Goku can fight all these international beings, but he ain't fought a whole planet, a whole universe, 3 evil queens, the embodiment of darkness, and the embodiment of chaos. So, let's not talk about running numbers, because then some of y'all ain't ready for that life. So, that's the discourse there. Then we have a couple of other things that were also need to be talked about, because Digimon, I'm just leaving that alone. I'm not talking about that. there's like some other stuff. Because now we're like already 25 minutes in, so we can talk about the social media stuff going on. YouTube, for whatever reason, has now removed likes and dislikes. Like, you can't see them in the YouTube studio. I'm going to take a picture of it and post it on my channel community page to show you guys exactly what's going on behind the scenes. But we're going behind the scenes. Normally, I would be able to see my likes and dislikes. YouTube has now removed likes and dislikes from the YouTube studio. So, the only way you'll know if your videos are getting likes and stuff, I guess now it's just all about views. So, the more people watch your stuff, the more positive things come. But it's also like, well, I never removed the likes or dislikes. Well, I would have removed the likes and dislikes being shown. Personally, that's just for me. Let the creators see the stuff behind the scenes, and then we figure those things out. We learn from seeing it. So, which is also crazy too, because it hurts us smaller content creators than it does bigger content creators. And I hate when people say, "Oh, I'm just a small creator." When you've hit 1,000 subscribers, you have you get more told in things than we, who are still not even hit 500. So let's not even like talk about that, or let's talk about that, because it's still something that gets brought up. Is that just because some of us are content creators on YouTube, a lot of us get the short end of the stick. Period. Point blank. Then it was the issues of things that we don't get told because all the bigger guys get told first. Then it's the whole wave of things that do occur on YouTube or on Twitch or on social media. So when you're not part of that exclusive group of people that know things, or you're not hitting marks that they would consider being good things, guess what? Some of us are still here on the bottom trying to make things better. And is it crazy? Yes. Is it stuff we deal with? Yes. Is there anything we can do about it? We can try, but honestly, what's going to be the point? So at a point, I had to just throw my hands up and said, fuck it. And it's just what it is. You know, if I get my number, I get my number. If I don't, I don't. I don't expect me to hit 1,000 by the time I hit my 20th anniversary, which is crazy because some people are like, damn, you've been doing this for almost 20 years? Yeah. Longer story, but alright. So yeah, that's kind of that breaking point there. And then, there's some dating app situations, but I don't know if Nico is making any content yet about it. I think it'd be better for Nico to talk about it. Nico's aesthetics, if you want me to be more precise. I don't know if he's done any information yet on it. I'm pretty sure he's had, or someone's asked him. But long story short, there's this new dating app in the community of the gays called Goose. And it's being ran apparently by an OF creator or an OF star that has been known for being very, very racist, very exclusive to the YT community, and some other things that have basically been addressed over time. So a lot of people have been very vocal about this application so far, and even one idiotic person decided to say, well, I'm getting all my stuff from here. I don't understand why you guys are. Because you're a YT creator who spreads his legs and home for everyone else to see. So of course they're going to want to see, because they all want to know what it feels like. Ran through. Anyway. So yeah, that was just a little bit of that. Also, Pride Month is ending in less than a day. I did not go to Pride San Francisco because I have never been to a Pride celebration. There are Pride celebrations in Oakland. I just have not ever gone. A friend of mine has asked me to come, but I chicken out at conventions. I don't like big crowded events. That's also another reason why. Hold on one second, because I am dealing with the facial stuff right now. I got a big old zit on my nose, and I'm trying to dry this bitch out so I can pop this bitch. And when I pop this bitch, it's gonna feel so good, but it's gonna hurt so bad, because I know for a fact I am gonna have to get a band-aid and put it on there to stop it from bleeding, because this bitch is ready to pop, and I cannot wait for it to pop, because when it pops, I am going to pop it. Yes. What other things were addressed over this week? Oh, the BET Awards. Something I never thought I'd bring up on my channel. The BET Awards happened over the weekend. The BET Awards have been a thing for, I think, oh my goodness, how long have the BET Awards been a thing? I think since I was in elementary school, middle school was the BET Awards. Literally just an awards ceremony for black entertainment television. You know, everything that BET originally stand for. But then again, after hearing, BET has never been owned by a black person, which, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And then on top of it now, I believe Tyler Perry has his hands on both VH1, BET, and some other conglomerates. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. But it really doesn't change too much. I don't watch the BET Awards. I haven't watched the BET Awards since 2008. 2009? No, that's a lie. 2010. And that's the last time I watched the BET Awards because it just wasn't fun for me anymore. Like, now it's nothing but, like, a couple of here's and there's, a couple of actors and actresses I may watch. Everything is Tyler Perry at this point. And then, like, it just was not the same that I used to grow up upon watching the BET Awards. So, it was just like, I really just don't, and then a lot of the music I don't listen to. So, that's another thing. Like, I don't know half of these artists. I think it was like a meme. Because it was an episode of Family Guy. And I remember it was Brian and Stewie went to the MTV Awards. And there was all these different, like, kids and, like, actors and stuff. And it was like, I've never heard of these people before. And they started playing, like, a list of people and all this and that. And it's kind of like how I feel. It's like, unless I particularly know who's going to be there. Because I think the last BET Awards from last year was a really big one because they did a tribute to 106 in Park. Because I think 106 in Park is, like, over, like, 25 years old. That's how old 106 in Park was. 106 in Park ended about the end of 2009, 2010. Just over a slew of things that were going on behind the scenes that we ended up finding out. I was one of those kids that did love watching BET because of 106 in Park. That was like basically the black version of TRL. Not to say TRL was bad, but it was more black-centric. Things were more focused on black entertainment and those entertainers that weren't on MTV or weren't able to get their videos and stuff on MTV. It was also crazy though because there were some popular artists that did end up on BET. Like, for instance, Tom Cruise was on 106 in Park before. Nelly Furtado, Justin Timberlake. I believe all of NSYNC actually has been on 106 in Park. There's been a couple of here or there on 106 in Park too. But it was just like, it was a different flavor than what it was when you're looking at MTV. And not to say MTV is bad. No, I've had my MTV era as well. I think I stopped watching MTV. I think around the time Jersey Shore became majority of it, and then Ridiculousness, after I don't know how many years, Ridiculousness has been a thing. And then just to find out that I think it was last year that the last season of Ridiculousness had been filmed and everything, and I was like, why is this still a show? Like, how long have you guys been doing Ridiculousness? Like, it needs to just dry up. And then watching the stuff for Laguna Beach and the Hills has been a madness thing. Hold on, I'm gonna stop right here so I can then come back so I can finish this off too. Alright, so I am back because I had to break up the recording because I don't want the recording to get messed up. Because after I think 35 minutes or so, CapCut does this weird thing with recordings if it's not a video already still playing. But for the most part, yeah, I stopped watching a lot of major television after a certain year. BET I stopped watching around 2009, 2010. About MTV, I think I stopped watching about 2012 because of all the it was basically just playing nothing but Jersey Shore. Not to say that I didn't like Jersey Shore, because of course I was one of the multiple peoples. But I think Chelsea Handler said it was like, wow, you guys are really sitting here and we got, because she was at the MTV Awards one year. I think it was 2011, 2012. And she called it out. She was like, you guys are laughing and joking about Jersey Shore, but these guys' show is the reason why your videos don't get played. And she wasn't lying. Because at that point in time, no one was really watching MTV for music videos. And it's crazy because I believe MTV and VH1 had literally cut off, I think of last year, cut off all the major, music channels that were playing all of the OG music and OG stuff from the two, on music channels. So if you have anything to say, I mean, just be happy that Jersey Shore is on its last season, because if it wasn't, reality TV has literally just taken over a good portion of it. So now that most of these shows are wrapping up, they're like, yeah, we're not getting the same revenue and stuff that we were before. And it's like, of course you're not. Because this isn't hot stuff anymore. Like, anybody can pick up, if people can do like they do with Zeus Network, anybody can do what they can with stuff like Love and Hip Hop, Jersey Shore, The Real World. I mean, it's crazy though, because if you think about stuff like that, The Real World really did start a lot of this. And then it went into stuff like VH1's The Surreal Life, where The Surreal Life basically was like, hey, let's take all these people who were known famously from back in the day and then give them a show and have them all live in the same house. So they did try to do a revamp of The Surreal Life. I think like Tamar Braxton, Augustine, and some like other celebrities were all together and they were doing that. And it's crazy though, because remember, I think it was the third season of Surreal Life featured Flavor Flav and Brigitte Nielsen. Brigitte and Flav ended up getting their own spinoff, and then he got his series Flavor of Love because of him being him basically like I want to look for love. He did eventually find love because he didn't end up with any of the girls that he was with during Flavor of Love. Like all three girls he was with, no, they were with Flav for a period of time, and then they're like moved on, broke up. He had like 3 seasons of this show. I remember this. He had 3 seasons of the show, and then New York got her own series. Was I Love New York. She had 2 series. She had 2 seasons of that, and then Chance and Real, who were stars from her show, they ended up getting their own series called Real Chance of Love. And unfortunately, Real died a couple of years back due to cancer. Real and Chance were brothers that appeared on I Love New York. Real was number 3 in the run, and Chance was runner-up. And she didn't find love the first season. She found love the second season, but her and Taylor May, who won season 2, didn't work out. For a lot of people who don't know that. And the reason why a lot of people don't know that is because, well, a lot of us millennials know this. A lot of us millennials lived through, reality TV during the 2000s. God, we lived and breathed it. And the crazy thing about it was that she even said it herself in interviews. They asked her about Taylor May and her relationship with Taylor May, and she was like, she loved him, he loved her, but their lifestyles were just part of the reason why they couldn't stay together. I believe in an interview she said he was working all the time, and it did make her lonely. Like, she wanted him to be there, but he had such a long schedule. He has a child. I think the child is like 20 years old now, because that girl was like 10 or 11 when at that time, and then I think by now she should be like in her 20s. So can't say much about that. I know he's still in the business he's in. David, or as we know him now, was on the show. I forget what David's name was from I Love New York, but he married Jennifer Hudson and they got divorced. David Tatunga, yeah, he dated New York, and then after he left her show, he started wrestling on WWE, and then he met Jennifer Hudson, and then they got married. They have kids together, and then they got divorced, and then they have joint custody of their kids. But from what Jennifer says, she's random to New York. Like, she has no beef with New York. New York has no beef with Jennifer Hudson. She just was like, I don't know why everybody makes it so awkward. It was like, that's his ex. Yes, I know, but me and her are two totally different women that dated the same man. It happened. You know, they tried to make beef where there was no beef. And both of them were like, I don't have any beef with her. I respect her more than I would have beef with her, which is amazing. Thank you for not falling into that bullshit. And it's crazy now to think it, because both of Jennifer Hudson's kids are teenagers. Isn't that crazy? They are teenage boys. I think her son is her oldest is 16, 17. Her youngest is like 14, 13, 14. Like, she got 3 kids. I know she adopted her nephew. Or her mama adopted her nephew, the one that his mama and her brother got killed by the cousin. While she was on American Idol. Or no, after American Idol. It was a lot of stuff going on in J Hud's family. It's crazy. You can look that up yourself, but it's a very tragic story. Of death and suicide, death and murder, and people wanting to just be in the spotlight and couldn't. It's a very tragic story for her. Because she lost her loved ones in the process of this. And Jennifer, then after that, getting her first Grammy and her first Emmy, and then becoming the superstar that she is to now. She is an EGOT, and the youngest EGOT at that, I think 35, was when she got her EGOT status, because she won her first Tony. For those who don't know what EGOT status is, EGOT basically means you have an award in, basically, you have an Emmy, a Grammy, a Tony, and an Oscar. So you have all of those, and I believe she has all of those. I know she has a couple of Grammys. She has Emmys as well. And then she got her Oscars because of Dreamworld. That's how of Dreamgirls, because that's how she got her first major award. Not her her BET awards, yes, because she has plenty of BET awards. But the status line of things is that she is one of the few African American EGOT recipients. The others are, who are the other recipients? Off the top of my head, I know Whoopi Goldberg, John Legend, Jennifer Hudson, and I forget who the other one is. I know there's 4, and I want to say, is it Jennifer Lewis? I want to say it's Jennifer Lewis. I don't think it's Jennifer Lewis. But I know it's someone very famous, and I know this person for their acting credentials. Hold on. This is why we have Google. But yeah, the EGOT status is only given to a multitude of actors and actresses, because Shirley Lee Ralph, she played Dee on Moesha. She plays on Abbott Elementary. She is only one award away from being EGOT status as well. So, EGOT. Okay, Whoopi go. Oh, Viola Davis, Quincy Jones, John Legend, Jennifer. Okay, so that's who I thought it was. I knew it was somebody I remembered. Yeah, so Whoopi Goldberg, John Legend, Jennifer Hudson, Viola Davis, Alan Menken, Menken, and Quincy Jones. In addition to the late legend James Earl Jones and Halle Bell Ford are all honorary recipients of having EGOT status in the African American community. because most of the EGOT winners are not African American. They're very much white. So the first EGOT winner, EGOT status, was Miss Whoopi Goldberg in 2002. She has 2 Emmys, 2002, 2009. She has a Grammy in 1986. She got her first Oscar in 1991, and she received her Tony in 2002, along with winning her Emmy. Amazing. John Legend in 2018, he has Emmys for the years of 2006, 7, 9, and etc. He has 1 Tony in 2018. 2015 is when he got his Oscar, and then his Emmys winning statuses are 2018, 2019, 2022, with him completing his EGOT status in 2018. Jennifer Hudson has a Tony, an Oscar, 2 Grammys, and 1 Emmy. Her winning of EGOT came complete in 2022, when she got her first Tony. Viola Davis, a year later, by receiving her first Grammy in 2023, her first Emmy in 2015, her Oscar in 2017, and she has 2 Tonys, one in 2001 and one in 2010. Quincy Jones got his in 2016. He became EGOT status for producing The Color Purple, not the movie, but the musical, the one that's on Broadway. He got an Oscar in 1995. He got an Oscar and a Honorable Academy Award in 2024 for work he's done. He's received 28 official Grammys from the spans of 1964 to 2019, and his first Emmy was in 1977. The honoraries are James Earl Jones, who completed his status by getting an honorary award in 2011, and Harry Belafonte for completing her in 2014. Okay, and that is all of the every African American has 1 EGOT, which is outstanding. It is. And they're, but they have honoraries. Okay, that's why James Earl Jones and Henry Belafonte have theirs. Have theirs is because of their contributions, but have honorary status from the Oscars, which I mean still should qualify though. Alright. I mean, hey, if you work this hard and you do this well, and they can honor you this much with your excellence, I honestly, truly have to say, you definitely deserve it. You really, really do. And it's definitely an honor when you have obtained so much leniency in the community. Really, you do. Outside of that, really, I think that kind of ends that part of the conversation. But just to say, I was very shocked about the BET Awards. It was apparently a really good one. My only issue was Drewski was hosting, which I really don't have much to say about Drewski, because I really just, not my cup of tea. And then, I guess there was a skit with him and Keke Palmer, and she was like, "You're not doing it right. They should have let me host it." Which, to be fair, why didn't they let Keke Palmer host? I guess after the whole squabble with, I don't know who, because that's the thing, I haven't watched the BET Awards in years, because the times that I've watched the BET Awards, Monique was the host. And then they had, like, here and there host for, like, a while, from what I was told, and then I just stopped watching. By the time that was a thing. So it's like, oh, people talk about the BET Awards. And then I think what's even crazier is, like, how many times the BET Awards have changed, because they were normally in June. They were always in June. And then I think they changed a couple of times, and then they went back to June. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then, because they did with the MTV Awards, like, because the MTV Movie Awards were always in, like, May or April. Then they got shifted till another day, I was like, oh, okay. And then the MTV Awards were always like at the end of August, and now they're in the middle of September, and I'm just like, alright, sure fam. But that's like OG like stuff, like, and I think the MTV Awards have always been the longest of music awards that I've known of, next to like the Oscar, no, the Emmy, no, the Grammys. Sorry, not the Oscars, the Grammys. But yeah, it was just like those were most of the shows I used to watch when I was younger, like those main attractions, because I listened to a lot of music. But now I really don't pay too much attention. I'm just like, okay, well, if anybody I listen to gets nominated, congratulations. Like, because I still listen to, like, Lady Gaga, I still listen to Blackpink, I still listen to, like, my artists here and there. But most of the stuff I listen to is video game music. And it's very rare when you hear video game music outside of video games being portrayed publicly for notification, for, the masses. There's a word for that, but I completely forgot what it was. But that's my problem, not yours. So yeah, it was definitely just a lot of stuff entwined to the BET Awards, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, that's the thing. Tiana Taylor received her Icon of the Year award, and a lot of people were very much hating on her for that, and I don't understand why, because Tiana Taylor deserves her award for how much she's done over the last year. She's won, I think she's now won an Emmy, she's won an Oscar, I believe she's won a Grammy. If she hasn't, I mean, that's next. Like, it's only a matter of time before Tiana Taylor becomes the next EGOT winner, and I cannot wait for that. I think the biggest surprise this year was, I think, for the BET Awards was Janet Jackson, who's an icon herself, gave Tiana Taylor her Icon of the Year award. And if people who don't know, Tiana Taylor started off as like a more underground artist. She got her rise to fame. She was on My Super Sweet 16. You guys remember that show? Most people don't. If you're a millennial, you remember that show because it was like very rich, like billionaire status, like snotty kids in a way, were like coming, like they basically was like, oh look, here's my quinceañera, here's my Sweet 16, here's my Sweet 15, all of that. And it was like just rich kids, rich snobby kids. I don't know where most of them are, I don't care, they're not my problem, but like, when you start seeing people like L.A. Reid, and his son was on there, and then, like, it was a couple other kids on there too. I think they even had a My Super Sweet 16 for Kylie Jenner, which was crazy. But she was like 16, so I guess it made sense. But I think that was the last time they did a My Super Sweet 16, because I haven't seen that show in ages. But when I do talk about mine, about the one that I remember the most, like I said, was Tiana Taylor, because that's how we know who she was. She was, I think, under Pharrell's label. She had just started coming out as an artist, and they were throwing her, she was doing her own party, and that was the first time we had seen. She was doing the whole skateboard punk rock thing for her birthday. It looked really cool. It was a really cool party. She came out in like a Barbie doll like box, and like it was a whole lot of things that she wanted to do, and they were like, yeah, we can't have you do it. So they were like, it was basically just a production of getting to her party, and then when she finally had her party, it was a beautiful party. Pharrell was actually on there as well. We got to see Pharrell there, and then that really was just like a peak for her career, because after then we've seen her in a lot of movies, we've seen her doing a lot of stuff. She married that basketball player, we don't talk about him, and then now she is doing her own thing, and we're so happy for her, because this is what black elegance and excellence does, is that when you go through the hardest things of your life, the other things start to shine. And for her, one of her biggest icons, Janet Jackson, is now here giving her an award after 20 years, guys. It's been 20 years since Tiana Taylor made her debut, and it's crazy that it's been 20 years. I still can believe 2006 is when this girl first made her debut on TV, and it was like now here she is a superstar. Like she's an Academy Award winning actress. She is a music star, and now she has an Icon Award, and was given it by her one of her biggest icons, Miss Janet Jackson. Which that already right there. Janet is supposed to be on tour right now. Janet is supposed to be in Japan. Janet flew to I think it was LA. She flew to LA to the BET Awards so she could give Tiana Taylor her award. And let's also talk about that outfit Miss Janet Jackson was. Miss Jackson, if you're not, was wearing a very nice ensemble and was rocking a Tupac shirt on top of that, which statements, because Tupac was one of her biggest people, and she was very hurt when Tupac died. And Tupac and her were really close. Like, they used to write letters and stuff. Not like Jada, which we're not talking about that. But it was just like, oh, okay, poetic justice, Janet. Okay, Miss Jackson. It was very sweet tribute to him, and it was a very just touching moment between Janet and Tiana. It's all over the internet. She walked out with that walk. Janet, Miss Jackson, icon herself. And she walked out. It was a beautiful moment. Because nobody thought Janet was coming. I think a lot of people were still shocked Janet was at the BET Awards. So, because she's supposed, like I said, she's supposed to be on tour. She's supposed to be in Japan right now. She's supposed to be on a world tour. And she came all the way out of her world tour to come see Tiana. Because I think she's a huge fan of Tiana Taylor. So for a mega star like Janet Jackson to stop her tour to come see you, just iconic. It really is. So, I'm pretty sure I can never understand the emotions I was going through Tiana. But, baby, meeting your icon is just legendary. Like someone you've looked up to for years. Right there. Praising you for your talent. That is inspired by their talent. Just amazing. Yeah, that was like pretty much a good highlight of my weekend. I really didn't do much this weekend. I made a couple of decks. I made a couple of smiles. And then that was about it. This little heat wave we got so far is about to cool down and then start back up by next week, so that's nice. I don't have too many major plans coming up for the week. Just the Mimighoul deck profile, and then that's about it. I guess do a refresher. You probably won't see a Harpie deck profile from the Rush Duel till I get Refinato as soon as possible. Refinato is not going to be hard to get. She's real cheap now, so. It's just the taxes and stuff, guys. That's the real issue with getting stuff from Rush Duel. It's like, my total, after looking at it earlier, was like $80, $85 to transfer maybe 20 cards from the OCG to TCG. Yeah. Probably even a little less than that. But a lot of them are hollows, because unlike Rush Duel and stuff, Duel Links, these are real cards, and people have to actually pull them, and then people still need to make a profit off of pulling them. So, that's the thing. I don't really have any major updates and stuff. Oh, yes I do, because I do still have to do the limited edition pack from Rush Duel. I need to do that video. And then I need to do a video for... I haven't done a Puzzles and Dragons video in a while, so maybe I might pop one of those, but I don't know. People say they don't like my Puzzles and Dragons. Well, according to the reviews and stuff, people don't like watching my Puzzles and Dragons videos as much as they like watching my Digimon or my Yu-Gi-Oh content. And then no one watches my own podcast, so that's the thing. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this video because it's almost 10 o'clock and I have to pee. So, thank you guys so much for listening in on today's podcast. The next podcast will be for January. For July, I want to say the 5th or the 6th. So, that's after Independence Day. So, that's after the 4th. The 4th, I believe, is on Saturday, so probably Monday the 6th, and I'll be my first one. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been a definitely long one. I have just my other things to do, and I'm really just gonna enjoy the rest of my night. Thank you guys so much for listening in. If you guys have any questions and stuff, you can leave that in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel because it helps out tremendously. And I'll catch you lovely people next time. HPJ is signing out. Take care and bye-bye.